Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Reyhan Hakim. I'm from NK219, and today I'm about to tell you about my experience. Especially, it's more like my friend's experience about being cheated at. All right. So the story happened while I'm still in high school, and that is around 4 or 5 years ago. Okay, so let's start with the background. About my friend, you can call him K, and he is my classmate in EPS 2. He is a close friend of mine, and he actually looks pretty good and comes from a wealthy family. He's also part of our gang, and we always play together, whether it's after school or during break time. And next, about the girl, the one who become his girlfriend, let's just call her C, with initial C. And she's a science student in class IPA 1, and she's pretty popular among other male students at school. And you can call her an extrovert, I think, since she usually always go wherever she want after school or during the weekend. Okay, that's enough for the background. So at that time, I think it was at the end of the October, and there's one day C asked K to meet at the class after the school. At that time, she went to meet K to ask him if he want to be her boyfriend, because she says that she already liked him a year ago at the time when we are just entered the high school. So K, who never had a girlfriend before, then agreed to be her boyfriend. After all, who would reject a pretty girl who is also very popular at school? I wouldn't. Then, after they formally become a couple after that day, they are always together. They go to school together, having their time during break time together. After the school, they go home together or anywhere, and even at the weekend. And you know what? I actually feel happy that my friend is happy he got a girlfriend. But I think there's something that lost in me. Yes, and you know what? That is my friend. We rarely go with our gang together. We usually always went to the game center after once a week or at the weekend, or even going to play somewhere after the school. But since he got a girlfriend, he always spent his days off with his girlfriend. At school, he was always busy with her, chatting on the phone in class with her. He always ate with his girlfriend at the canteen and only paid for her. Well, usually he's the one who paid for us since he's rich. Also, when I and the boys were about to go to the game center, we saw K and C in the pawn store, and we think that K might buy C a new pawn for her. And the next day, it's actually true. He did buy her a new pawn because her pawn has changed to a new one. And not only that, there is so much of her stuff that looks new. Her bag, her shoes, her pawn, and even some of her accessories. Then one of us to get a wild thought. He said he thinks that maybe C becomes K's girlfriend just to use him for her own benefit. Well, he thought that he got a point right there. He always paid everything for her from what we see is whenever they are together. However, after 5 months together, We see Kay and C rarely went together. Kay said that she had tutoring after school every day, except for weekend. So they never went after school together and only go on a date every weekend. But she still asked Kay to buy her something for her during their time with at the date. So we make an initiative to find out what happened to them and make a plan. First, we will try to find her on the social media, whether it's on her Instagram, Facebook, or even Twitter. Then we will follow her after the school to find out if she really had a tutor. After almost 2 weeks of searching her on her social media, we find that there are several men who always like her post on Facebook, and they are men from the profile. They look like 30 or 35 years old men, and they are not her relative. Also, one similar thing about them is that all of them are rich, really rich. Then we decided to start the second plan to keep track of her. However, it is actually pretty difficult to do since we always lost her because there are so many people. But fortunately, one of us managed to follow her and find a shocking truth. She had a meeting with a man on her social media that we found before, and then the person, our gang member, he took a picture of them and saw the photo to us. Then the next day, we decided to follow her again, and today we fully prepared, and then we found her with a different man, but the other man also one of the person that we found on her social media. Then we keep following them, and they went to the mall, restaurant, and many other places until we lost track of her when they get into the man car, and I think that looks like they are having a date. So we after gathering all of the evidence that we got, we held a meeting, and also we invite Kay to it. We reveal the truth about her to him, that she this whole time just using him, and he's just one of her walking banks. She even got some sugar daddy, and she also used them for her own advantage. He can so after hearing this everything from us, Kay can't believe what he sees at the time, but we managed to explain it to him. Then he takes all of the evidence and we leave everything to him. We want him to decide what to do. And after that, the next week, we never see C at the school anymore. And Kay also always play with us together, and we never talk about C anymore. And nobody knows anything about her anymore. No one knows where she goes or whatever, until when we hear that from the teacher that if the C has been kicked out of the school. Right, and that is the story for me. I think that's pretty clear. And thank you for the attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.